I set up an interview with my old high school drama teacher. That interview is going out today in about 2 hours. I'm shaking. Mrs. Beatty, hi. Oh my gosh, how are you? Oh my gosh, I'm great. Hello. I'm here with Mrs. Beatty. She's my old high school drama teacher. And she agreed to let me interview her, so let's start grilling her with the questions.
Okay.
So I don't know if this is really gonna be. Okay. So like, what were my biggest strengths back in the day in drama?
I think your biggest strength, or one of them, was being able to see humor in everything.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you always took like a unique perspective. So you always looked at characters in a way that I never would have. So I think your interpretation of characters is always unique, which is a good thing, because I tend to think okay, what's the right way to do this? And you always think what's the creative way to do this. Okay. Which I always admired. Okay. So I think that's one of your biggest strengths, that you see characters almost like I'm, and I hate this about myself, but like two-dimensional, like the right and wrong way. And you're like, let's just explore this character.
Okay.
Which, I don't even know if you were conscious of that, but whenever you would do something on stage, I'm like, wow, I never would have thought of that for that character.
All right.
So it was always impressive to me that you weren't boxed in by conventions, social conventions, like what's right, what's wrong, it's like, hey, woo, let's just do this.
We're off to a really good start. All right. Weaknesses. What would you say those were?
And this is not just the focus sometimes. Okay. Just the come on, let's do this, and you would still be and just to settle down and do something. And that's not to say it was just you. A lot of times, as freshmen, that is a hard thing to focus. But I saw maturity, because I had you for 4 years. Yep. And see that change as you got older. Okay. Does that make sense? Yes. So that's when you were like a freshman, like the squirrely freshman thing. That was you. That was you. But there was so much creativity and talent there. If I could look past the squirreliness, I knew as you got older it was gonna get awesome. And it did.
Oh, that makes me so happy.
Yeah. So I think that was one of the weaknesses, but it's something that developed and I can do better.
Okay. Awesome. Good. It's going good so far. What else did I write down here? I took like 2 hours this morning and I was like, all right, I need to think. And this is literally all I came up with.
Okay.
So I want to talk to you about the really dark stuff that I'm doing now, but I feel like I need to explain to you how I got there. Because if I just jump in you and I explain what I'm doing, which they'll understand.
Because they've seen it.
Yeah.
I just haven't.
Yeah,
I've never seen that side of it.
Yeah, and they've been along for like the whole ride. It's not going to make sense to you. So what happened right out of high school, I quit my job at JT Baker's, and then I started working at Meijer. For 3 months, I was like, no. And then I went back, I started at Cops and Donuts. And there I was like, all right, I have to go to college. So I got into mid, full ride through financially and all that, which was awesome. And my first class that I was taking, my first two were speech, like 257, and sociology 101. Which I was like, I got this, And I met this girl, Courtney, in sociology. And I went up to her because like it was my freshman year in college, so I was like, oh my gosh, street words. I went up to her and I was like, hey fam, which means just like friends and family. I was like, you want to go get some Taco Bell? Me and my Taco Bell. And she looks at me and she's like, what the F is a fam and who are you? So
why did you approach her? What made her be the one that you...
Oh, I thought she was gorgeous.
Okay, so she was beautiful.
Yes. At the first time I saw her in that sociology class, I looked at another friend of mine, Kelly, and I was like, who is that? I need to know now. So we went out to Taco Bell. We hit it off like that. We got to know each other really good. And then I found out that she's from Unionville, which I don't know if you know where that is. No. It's in the thumb.
Okay.
It's like so outside of Bay City.
Okay.
So, but she was like living in Mount Pleasant with her sister at the time for college. After that semester was over, she was done, didn't want to go back. I did. So she moved back home to the Thumb, and I was here, and I was like, oh my god, you know?
You missed her.
Yeah, I did. I went over there to visit a lot. I still do. But this was at the time, like, her and I, we were out one night, and somebody from our class messaged me and was like, oh, hey, come over, you know? And I was with her. I said, do you want to do this? And she said, sure. We walk into this guy's apartment, and on the screen, have you heard of the show Bates Motel?
Is it like, what's the movie that Beatty?
Psycho.
Psycho, yeah.
It's like a modern version of like Psycho.
Okay.
I walk in and that's playing on TV, and I saw like an episode about, I don't know, I saw it and like instantly I was like, this is dark. This is good. And I asked him what it was. He's like, I don't know, man, I just sat down. So the whole night, you'd think my focus would be on like, you know, Courtney and like, oh, this crazy like party stuff. It was not. It was. As soon as I got home, looked it up, I was hooked. I bought the movies on Amazon, all 4 of them. They arrived at my house, and I was like so sucked in by this show. Like literally, my life became Psycho for a good few months.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So after that, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to do something with this. I have to bring this to YouTube, because at the time, like nobody knew I was really into it.
So dark thriller stuff.
Yes. And I thought to myself, like, oh my gosh, what is something that when I'm without for a good week to 2 weeks, I get super mad. And at the time I was like, well, my job makes me really, really mad. And usually Courtney makes me pretty happy and knows how to calm me down. So I was like, oh my god, I got an idea. So I came up with this idea that I could take what I used to do, like with Trevor back in the day when I was in high school. I could expand it, and now I could just twist it and make it dark. And so what I've done is I've kind of redone Psycho. I like see, instead of my mother, I see like Courtney when she's not there. And like I bought a wig that matches her hair color. I bought lipstick. I bought it all. And yeah, I just like. So me and a few friends.
So like you're obsessed with Courtney.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Only she doesn't realize it. If she doesn't know it, but it's,
yeah.
Okay.
And then I've told her about it. Like she's seen the episodes of this that I've done. She's like, cool. She's like, don't kill me in real life, huh? But so that's where we're
That's
at
your
now.
inspiration.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
And so I think the character now, the dark character inside me, that's not a good way to put it, is kind of a mixture of a Psycho and the show Dexter, which I don't know if you've seen that.
I've heard of Dexter. So it's like your alter ego is evil and twisted and disturbed.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And very different from the Logan
that you remember.
Everybody sees. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Which I'm still that. You know, I'm old. I mean, but just
everybody's got a dark side, and it's just exploring that dark side.
Yeah.
And that's the scary thing for people actually seeing them.
Yeah. Which I was instantly like scared when I first discovered it. I was like, oh my god, secret. But here we are.
Yeah, apparently.
So what's a good way to improve?
I think just keep trying different things.
Okay.
I mean, you've discovered this one thing, and I think you're focused on that. But it, you know, and sometimes people get pigeonholed into a certain genre. I think being able to explore and have some fun and see the good in all the different ones. What comes to mind right away is like Robin Williams.
Okay.
You know, he was a comedian. He was awesome. He was energetic, but sometimes he did those serious roles like Dead Poet Society or Patch Adams, Good Morning Vietnam. I mean, he wasn't afraid to do things like that. Now, he did have a dark side, and I think a lot of comedians will admit that they do have that.
Like Jim Carrey.
Yeah,
Perfect. Jim Carrey is one of the most depressed people on earth.
I think most comedians would say that, admit to that part of comedy is the pain. You know?
Yeah.
There's pain that comes with comedy, but being able to make that funny is like the challenge. So I guess what's a good way to grow and improve? I just keep making mistakes.
Okay.
You
I
don't
make a
be
lot of those.
Yeah, you know, it's okay to make mistakes when you learn. I think you learn more from your mistakes than you do from the things you do well.
Right.
So don't let that stop you from exploring. Or just because nobody else has done it before doesn't mean you shouldn't do it.
Right.
And I know you're talking about you saw the one show, Bates Family or whatever, and now you're obsessed with that, which is okay, but when you're done with that, be done with it and try something else. You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
Yeah. And you know, take that idea and maybe try it in different ways. I don't know how well that looks or what that looks like, but try to explore. Yeah, that's a good thing, but don't copy the Bates or Psycho or just do that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Which is something I will openly admit I have done in the past. I don't think I meant to do it on purpose, but I was like oh my god, this is amazing. I have to recreate this. I'll openly say I've done that in the past.
Which is okay, but you know me, and I probably shouldn't say this anything, but you've heard me say I don't like regurgitation.
Right.
Don't take somebody else's work and just regurgitate it on it.
Right.
Put your own stamp on it.
Right.
You know, take that character and twist it.
Karen Wassenaar, if you were in the building.
I remember this. So do you want to do like a dark improv?
I can try.
Okay.
We can try it.
What should the theme be?
We don't have anything like that. I'm not a dark person.
Oh boy.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure I've got dark places in my soul like everybody, but
Alright. Well,
even if you don't think of something today, you can always come back and we can do it. If you've got an idea, like maybe you want to let that percolate a little bit.
Okay.
I mean, we can do it today if you come up with something.
Right. I can always come back. Oh my gosh, that makes me feel so good. But I don't know. I'd love to show you some of the stuff that I have been working on. If you wanted to see it,
I'd love to see it.
We can definitely do that. Well, we're gonna go watch my videos. It is so thrilling for me. That's something else I wanted to bring up too. Why is it that as a creator, I am so self-critical of my own work?
I think everybody is. You always want it to be perfect.
Right.
I don't think there's always, well, you know, from the drama, you would do something and then reflect on it.
Reflection, what's it called?
Reflective analysis.
Yeah, that.
Do a reflective analysis. What did you do well? What do you want to? What could you improve on that? How could you make it different? And I think that's my one thing. As when I look at artists when they do a painting or something, my thing is, how do you know when it's done? When do you stop?
Exactly.
You know, and so I always wonder, how do you know when you're done? I mean, obviously, when a performance, it is what it is, and the audience is coming, whether you're ready or not, and so you put it on there. But I always think, ooh, we could have done this, or should have done this, or we look back and say, I would have done this differently.
Exactly.
You know, and I've done the same plays with different people, and they look totally different, or maybe my vision is different this time, or what I'm bringing to it is something other than, we did it this way that time, but I'm going to do it a little bit differently this time. Maybe with even a different feel that the audience will get from it. So, I guess I can't answer your question real well, but I don't think I can answer.
But you get where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
It's just, and my thing is with these dark videos that I've started doing, when I look back on them, I'm like, oh my god, this is terrible. But then I get, messages from like old coworkers and old like friends from high school that are like, you're sick.
Yeah.
This is good. This is dark. And I'm like, is it though? Like, it could be better.
Yeah.
But,
well, I think every artist looks at something that says that it could have done this better. It could be better. But sometimes, like I said, that's the best you have right now. When you said you look back on your videos from when you were in high school or even before that, you're like, oh my gosh, what was I thinking? But that's the best you could do at that time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The knowledge that you had, the technology that you were using at the time, that's the best it could be at that time. So, in time and place, that's awesome. now, obviously, you could do so much better than that, and you are doing much better than that. So it's just that, taking what you learn and using it each time you do something.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy with this video. I'm so happy with this video. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much
You're
for
welcome.
being here. This
You're
is
welcome.
awesome.
Okay, awesome.
Sweet.
Thank you.
Oh my god, you guys. So, okay, I'm just now leaving. That went so well. I'm so proud of that. See, and it's like she was saying, you know, you always have to keep pushing yourself. You always have to keep going forward. And I feel like that's something I'm really trying to do this year. And this new style of videos that I want to start incorporating more. I want to start reconnecting with people that, you know, I used to go to high school with, or I used to have as a high school teacher. That is so cool to me, you know? Being able to just go in, after it's been 3 years now, still being able to go in and just sit down and have a full conversation is awesome. I absolutely love that video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. So, yeah, I think it went really well. But I'm going to go now. I hope you guys enjoyed, like I said, and here's hoping I can keep making more videos that are awesome, and here's to hoping I can keep pushing myself to do even better things. Thank you, Mrs. Beatty, for being a part of that. I love you. You're awesome. I'll see you guys later. Bye.